Hi, my name is Rana, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to bake chocolate croissants, or how they say it in French, pain au chocolat.
Welcome to Butter It Up. It's baking time with Rada Suresh. Every treat is divine. Cakes, cookies, pies, and more sweet creations that you will adore. So grab your whisk, let's stir it up. On Butter It Up, we'll butter you up.
First, you want to add 1 1/4 cup of whole milk. Then you want to add 1 cup of water. And then after that, you want to add 5 3/4 cups of bread flour. Then half a cup of granulated sugar. A tablespoon of salt. A tablespoon of instant yeast, which I'm just gonna, 1/4 teaspoon of diastatic malt, and 1.5 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter. Now we added all the ingredients, I'm going to knead it by hand until it forms into a dough. Alright, I just finished kneading the dough and it looks like this. Looks good, and if your dough is strong and you kneaded it correctly is if you can give it a nice tug and nothing breaks, as you can see. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get plastic wrap and put it over this, and I'm just gonna let it sit in room temperature for about 90 minutes. And that should make your dough puff up more. I'll show you what that looks like after the 90 minutes. I just put the dough back there so it'll rise, and now we're gonna make our butter block. I just used the Kerrygold butter, and it's just a big block, and I cut it up into 8 little pieces of butter, and I laid it down like this. And once you have it laid down like this, you want to fold it over like this first. Their butter block something like this. Once you have it set like this, you just want to use your rolling pin to roll it down until it becomes one big smooth piece of butter. I'll show you what that looks like once I'm done. Alright, I just finished making the butter block, and as you can see, everything is very smooth. It's just one big block. It's very even, and what you want to do is put this in the fridge overnight. Alright, it's been an hour and a half, and as you can see, the dough has clearly risen. So I'm going to take the plastic wrap off of this, and I'm just going to put this on. So you can see I have like a rectangle of plastic wrap, and then I'm just gonna like wrap the dough. And now that it's like this, I'm just going to bring both sides over so I can almost like wrap it in like this rectangle. Get all the air out. Alright, now that I have it plastic wrapped, I'm going to put this in the fridge and let this plus the butter that's already in the fridge sit overnight. And I'll see you once they've been chilled. It's the next day, and I have my dough, I have my butter block. I let it sit out for just about 20 minutes so it can get like bendy, but not breakable. And so the dough could sit in room temperature for a bit. So first what you want to do is I got some all-purpose flour. Before I do anything, I'm gonna dust my work area with some of it, as you can see, and then I'm going to unwrap the dough and put that on here. Came out pretty well. I'm gonna be adding some flour just on top of it, rub it in a little. Flip it over. Gonna do the same. And then I'm gonna be using my butter block as a guide, so I would be rolling it out a little bit wider than my butter block and about double the height of it. So I'll show you what that looks like after I'm done rolling. I just finished rolling out the dough, so it is a little bit wider than the butter block and double the height. So what I'm gonna do next is I unpeel the chocolate paper on the butter block, and I'm just gonna set it on top of the lower half, like this. And then I'm gonna unpeel this top layer. And once I peel it, let me just fix this area up a little bit. Once I unpeel it, I just am going to fold this top part over the butter side. After you do your first fold, you want to make sure you press down on the sides to make sure the butter is completely locked into your dough. And then you want to pick your dough up like this. Be careful with it, obviously. And then just before I do anything, add a bit of all-purpose flour before I set it down. And then I am going to press on the dough to release some of that tension. And then I'm going to use a serrated knife to cut through the side and fold it on to release more tension. Like that. Once you cut through, you want to move your dough one more time so the side that you cut on is facing you. Now you want to roll it again so the dough is about 1 foot tall and the dough is about 1/4 inch thick. And I'll show you what that should look like once I'm done rolling. Now that I've got it rolled out so it's about 1 foot tall and 1/4 inch thick, I am going to first pick up this bottom half, or I'm going to do the top half first actually. And I'm going to fold it in like this. And then I'm going to pick up this bottom half and fold it on top of that half, like this. Then I'm going to roll it out to the same size rectangle it was before. Alright, I just rolled it out and we're going to do our final fold, which is we're going to take this side and we are going to fold it just about 2/3 of the way. And we are going to fold this over here, like that. Once we do this, I'm just going to stretch this out a little bit. And I'm going to fold this over one more time, like this. Once you get it here, you're just going to wrap it in plastic wrap and put it in the fridge for about 35 minutes. I will come back after this has been refrigerated for 35 minutes. It's been around 35 minutes, and so I'm going to unpeel it, the plastic wrap off of the dough. And then I am going to roll this out one more time into the same size rectangle we had before. I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done. I just finished rolling out the dough, so it looks like this. This is the final time we were going to roll it out. Next, once we're done with this, we're going to make these into basically 6 rectangles. So I'm going to use my knife, and I'm just going to cut down the middle once. And then, instead of eyeballing, I'm going to use just a little tape measure kind of thing. And this is around 15 inches, so 15 divided by 30. And basically cut through, oh, I dropped that, here, and here. I just used a knife real quick to make sure these edges were a little bit clean. We're gonna set these 6 pieces in the fridge for about 10 minutes so the butter can harden up again. Okay, so the 6 croissant pieces are in the fridge, and now what you wanna do is get a Ghirardelli 60% cacao baking chocolate bar. So I have this one, but basically what you wanna do is, so since we only have 6 pieces, we're gonna be using this and 2 more rows. But what you wanna do is after you break one of these quarters off, you wanna cut it down in the middle once. Once you cut it down in the middle once, you want to cut it in the middle again. It's a little bit hard because it's so narrow, but get the hang of it. And you want to do that with 3 more rows, so then you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 pieces of this. Alright, I just took these out of the fridge, and what we're going to do next is roll them up. So what I'm going to do is take 2 pieces of chocolate. I'm going to take these 2 actually, I like these more. And then I'm going to just set it here, and then after on the edge of one of these pastries, and then I'm just going to roll it up like this. It's just, and make sure the end part of your croissant is going to be at the bottom. And you want to do that same process for the rest of these 6. I'll show it to you guys once I'm done. Alright, I just rolled them up and I just put them on a baking tray with some parchment paper on it. I'm boiling some water right now, and I'm going to add boiling water into 2 of these cups. And then I'm going to add plastic wrap over it and let it proof in the oven. Don't turn it on, just put it in there. Let it proof in there for 2 hours. These just got proofed. As you can see, they're nice and puffy, so when I touch them, they come back up. Next, I made an egg wash. I just beat 1 egg up, and I'm just using this pastry brush, and I will just brush over the chocolate croissants, and this will give it that more brown, that golden brown color that you see when you go buy our croissants at the store. Let me brush over the rest of these, and I'll show you what they look like after I'm done. Okay, I just finished putting the egg wash on all of these. So what I'm going to do next is put this in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And then these should be perfectly baked. I'll show you the finished product. These just got out of the oven, and as you can see, they turned out really well. You can see all of the layers on the side with the chocolate in the middle, and you can see how nice and golden brown it turned at the top. And now we're gonna have people trying out these pan au chocolats and seeing how they taste. That's how you make chocolate croissants.
Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more buttery content. Welcome to Butter It Up. It's baking time with Rada Suresh. Every treat is divine. Cakes, cookies, pies, and more. Sweet creations that you will adore. So grab your whisk, let's stir it up. On Butter It Up, we'll butter you up.